Anker doesn't take power for granted. The company already has a robust lineup of portable power stations that cover the gamut. But its latest one is probably the biggest and most powerful one to date. Today we're taking a look at the Anker PowerHouse 767. This is the world's longest lasting portable power station. Let's check it out. All right, folks, welcome back. Now, as you can imagine, this is probably pretty expensive, but I have something really cool for you if you follow the link and you sign up. Now, this isn't going live till December 5th, but if you register at the link below for the early bird discount, you'll be able to save $500 when it does go live on December 5th. My link is down below. You just got to follow that link and stick your email in there, and they will email you and say, hey, we're live, come sign up, come get it, and you'll save $500 off the price. I think that's a pretty darn good deal. This is the PowerHouse 767, okay? This is definitely the world's longest lasting portable power station. It's probably the biggest one I've ever tested. And it's powered by GaNPrime. I'll get into what that is in a second. I want to explain to you how that works because it makes it for a very efficient power station. Now, this does have the LiFePO 4 batteries. They're good for 3,000 cycles. It has a 5-year warranty and a 10-year lifespan. It does have a very nice unibody suitcase design, very portable. There is a fold-out handle, a pull-out handle that comes out there. You can carry this like a luggage almost, and we'll show you that in a sec. I just want to kind of give you some specs on this thing. You can pop it out, and it will pop out, and you see the wheels here. You can just pick this up and roll it like you're rolling your suitcase through an airport. That simple. It has a TT30 interface connection for your RV right here. Right there. You can connect that to your RV and power your entire RV with it. It has a 2,048 watt-hour capacity with a 2,400 watt capacity. So you can charge and run 99.9% of your home or RV appliances or DIY tools. Another thing people forget is sometimes these things are pretty handy for when you're working out somewhere where there's no electrical grid power. If you want to run your saw, you want to run a drill, whatever, something like this can be very, very handy. Now, we all know that Anker has a bunch of other power stations, the 521, I think the 535, 555, and the 757. I've reviewed the 757, and I'll tell you the truth, that lives underneath my radio table for backup emergency power for my radios and computers should the power go out, okay? But this thing has even more power to it. So remember, if you use that link below, you're going to get that early bird discount, okay? That's going to be really, really cool for you guys. So this does have a built-in MPPT controller, okay? You have 1,000 watts input of solar. So you can literally line up 1,000 watts of solar panels and charge this with it. It will charge extremely quickly, okay? You can charge this to 80% with 5 Anker 200-watt panels within 2 hours. So what is the GaNPrime technology? That minimizes energy loss. It enhances power efficiency in charging and discharging. This will give you a 96% efficiency compared to the industry standard, which is usually about an 88 or a 91. So it's definitely very, very impressive. Another neat thing about this thing is it's got a smart app that you can run it from. So basically what you'll do is turn this on, okay? And you're going to hit this Bluetooth button here, and it will connect to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my phone here, and we are going to connect to it. I'm going to show you, I'm going to walk you through how that works. You're going to notice if you hold it there, it was blinking when I turned on the camera. You hold that for 2 seconds, that will blink. Now I've already connected on here. This is the app. Okay, there's my PowerHouse right there. And you can see it's 64 degrees in here. I got 100% charge. I can turn on or off my inputs, my car ports, my USB ports. I can go into power saving mode if I want. Just click that button there. And you'll notice the little green icon appears there. We'll turn that off. Let's turn on the AC. There we go. It's remaining 59.2 days just sitting there like that. You can do the lighting as well. Let me turn that off. We're going to go down to the lighting. Okay. You can turn on the lights, and this does have lights, and you can control them from this button up here as well, 2 and 3. And so you do have a nice, decent brightness on that light. I like the fact that you got that light right there. So you do have full control of this, and you can tell what's going on anywhere on here, the input and output of your DC stuff. Let's turn the light on quickly and see here if it shows. It'll show 2 watts there. So turn it up a little bit and see. So you can see we're pulling about 3 watts with the light. We'll go all the way up. I don't want to blind you guys too much. So you definitely see you're getting some nice light off there. And you'll be able to run that for 9 days at the highest thing there. So it's definitely a cool little system, and I like the fact that you have that app control there. That is really nice. Very handy little way to do things if you're not nearby it. Say if this is in another part of your RV, okay, and you're sitting at your dining room table in your RV and you want to turn the lights on or power or whatever, or you want to turn things on or off, you can do that remotely using the Anker PowerHouse app. All right, what we're going to do next is we're going to test this with some common devices. Again, I don't have things that are going to draw 2,000 watts, but I do have some things that are going to draw some decent power, and we're going to try it out and see how well it holds up with all that stuff. And then we're going to test it out with, I have a 200 watt panel here, a 200 watt fold-up panel. We're going to test it out and see how quickly it charges up. So let me get some stuff up here and we'll try it out. All right, so we got a coffee machine plugged in here, and I realized the cup that I have is a little bit long, so I had to pull the base out. A lot of people don't realize just how much power a coffee machine draws. So we're going to turn on the AC outlet, okay? And I'm going to turn this guy on here, and we're going to see how well we go. Is it on? Yep. All right, so I'm pulling 814 watts, 805 watts. Let's see, let me get it up here. Here we go. There's my graph. You can see the graph there of how much I'm pulling. So we're going to let that go. We're going to let that brew up and see how that does over time. I just want to take a quick look here and let you see this here. We are getting 806 watts. That's 5 watts out. One of the things that this thing does, I want to maybe edit in this, is change the display. The display turns off very quickly. You can put it back on like that, but I hate how it just shuts off like that. It drives me nuts. Another thing I noticed with this is when using this machine with others, other power stations, I only maybe got an hour, maybe half an hour of time. I can brew coffee for 2.2 hours at that rate. So that is very impressive. You can probably hear the little machine down here heating up the water. So I'll bring you back once that starts pouring out, and it will drop then, because once it's done heating up the water, the power drop will go down pretty low. I believe it goes to like 40 something watts. Now you notice that it just shut off there, but if for some reason your coffee isn't hot enough, we can always run the heat gun on the coffee. See, we're up to 1387 now. Well, it brews a little bit more. I want to take it up to high and see if we can trip it or not. I don't think it will. Back over here. 2,000 watts right there. 2004 watts. Not a problem at all. All right. Let's let this coffee brew in peace now. We'll finish up. You do hear the fans going on there. The fans definitely are working, and we are still drawing 800 watts from the coffee machine. It is now shut off because it's probably going to start pushing the coffee out. All right, so it's pushing out the coffee. Of course, it's not drawing anything now because it's down to practically nothing. It's pushing out your coffee right there, and it's made coffee for you, no problems. Now, one of the things I wanted to show you while we're waiting for the coffee to finish is the settings in this, and I have changed the screen timeout. Up here on the corner of the app, you can go up there, and you can control pretty much everything from the high-speed recharging to the SOS mode and the lights, the screen brightness. What I did here was I went down here to screen timeout, and I set it for 5 minutes. You can go up to 30 minutes if you want, but I think 5 minutes is fine. It'll allow me to see what's going on here while I'm using this device without having any problems. So there you go. We ran the heat gun and the coffee maker, both really high-drain devices. Got this thing over 2,000 watts, and it didn't even break a sweat other than turn on its fan, which it normally would do anyway. All right, let's try out something else now. So for our next test, it requires me to roll this inside because we're going to try it on my large microwave. What I'm going to do is show you how easily this is to move. Now, it is heavy to pick it off the counter, which I picked it off. It's, about 46, 50 pounds or so. We will get into tech specs at the end, but it's pretty darn heavy. But what I want to show you is how easy it is to move this if you don't want to carry it, using the handles. There you go. Those handles are fully extended. I can lift this up now. There we go. And I'm going to roll this in my kitchen and show you just how easy this is to run the microwave. All right, not too bad lighting in here in my kitchen. It's usually very hard to light in here. So I do have it plugged in at the moment. I do have the AC power on. What I'm going to do is run this for a minute. I'm going to try it out and see how it works with 1 minute on the timer and see how well that does. So let's just hit the 1. And off we go. I want you to pay attention to the watts here. 1601. All right, 1604. Now the fan inside the unit is running, and that will give me an hour's worth of microwave time at that wattage. So that's definitely impressive. And you'll notice I have this plugged in here. That's just my light behind here so you can see what's going on. So we're doing really good on that. We got 35 seconds to go. Definitely a cool little unit and can handle pretty much anything. Now the last thing we're going to test this on to see if it will work is I'm going to run a window air conditioning unit. You know, I have one inside my garage. It's not in a window. It's not installed correctly. But I want to see if when the compressor kicks on, this can handle that. It's about a 5,000 BTU unit. And I also want to see how long it's going to give me time-wise to run. So let me finish up this once this is done here and beeps. And we'll run that next. So we're taking about 1,000 watts there. It's dropping back down because the compressor is kicked off again. But we're taking about 1,000 watts and the compressor is kicking on and off. I'm not so sure that my particular unit is behaving too well with this particular thing here. It's not its fault. It's just the fact that maybe my AC unit's a little bit higher. I can show you the unit up here. When the compressor did kick on, it kind of shuddered a bit, but then it went. So there we go, 1,300 watts. So it is working. It's just kicking it on and off as it needs. So definitely very, very cool. All right, let's move on to the next item we're going to try out, and that's going to be one last thing. We're going to plug in the plugs and try out all the USB plugs. All right, so it's not as exciting as watching everything get powered by this, but I did want to make sure our car socket is working. It is using the car socket plug on there. You see the green light? So we are getting power out of that. We're also charging it. We're going to turn on this light here. We're going to charge up this handheld radio here. So you see everything is working in great working order. Seems to work very, very well. We're getting our lights. You can turn them up or down. Hit the hold, I forgot. There we go. So we turn it up a little bit. And I'm really only drawing about 2 watts right now, which is really impressive. So again, if I needed to run all this stuff, I got 6.9 days to do it. Very, very cool. Anyway, let me give you some final tech specs on it, some information on it, and the accessories that it comes with, and then we'll charge it up. So before we get this thing charging up, I do want to show you what it comes with. Another nice thing about this is you directly plug this into the wall. It can be used as a UPS, so you can plug this directly into the wall, plug in your devices, your computer, whatever here, and when the power goes, within 10 milliseconds or less, this will kick on and take care of your product. So you won't have any problems with that. And because of that, you just have a power cable. No wall wart, nothing to get hot. It's all contained inside the unit here. Okay, you got your power cable for your wall. You have, of course, a plug for the car. And don't forget, leave your car running when you're doing this, because it will kill your battery. And now this is cool. Remember when I said it'll take 1,000 watts of solar panels? Well, here's your plug that goes into the unit. And here are your solar panel plugs. So I do have the correct adapter for this. We are going to put the 200 watt one. We're actually going to do it directly into here. We're not going to use this because I don't have 1,000 watts of solar panels to show you. But we are going to plug the 200 watt one in there and see how well it works. So let me shut everything off here. And we'll take this to the corner there. And I'm going to run a 200 watt panel outside. I'm going to see how quickly we can get it from 97 back up to 100. All right, so there's my 200 watt panel out there. I have it running into the correct adapter for the power station. I'm going to turn you around here really quick to show you the back of the power station and explain to you some of the expansion capabilities of this as well. I know we're going into the dark here from the light, so it might be a little bit clearer. There we go. So what you got here is you got your DC input, your AC input, DC input, and your reset button down here. Okay, you are able to pair this with another unit if you want. Okay, you can stick another expansion battery on there. All right, and you can take this up to 4,096 watt hours. Okay, so that's the Anker 760 portable expansion battery that you can get and expand this even more. So what we're going to do is plug it in there and see what it looks like on the other side. All right, so we're slowly building up the wattage here. Remember, it's a 200 watt panel, so it's going to take a while to get up to speed. We're at 172. That's pretty darn good, actually. Okay, there you go. So your recharge time is under an hour, 0.7 hours. So I'm just going to leave this here, let it run, let it charge up, and I'll bring you back when it's fully done, and we'll see if that 0.7 hours is right. Really quickly, I wanted to show you the app when it was charging. You can see we're charging up there, 182, 182, 0.6 hours, 0.6 hours. And by the way, that was literally, went from 0.7 to 0.6 in the time that I turned off the camera, walked over to get this, and came back. So that technology, the GaNPrime technology, is really optimizing the charging of this battery. I'm actually kind of impressed with the panel too, because it's pulling in 183, 182 from a 200 watt panel. I was hoping to get 100 because out here the sun doesn't always shine in the direction I put the panels out in. So, bring you back when we're done. All right, so about, I would say 20 minutes, more like 17 minutes, and I was completely done. I am really impressed with this unit as far as charging goes. That was really impressive. I did expect it to be a lot longer when I saw the 0.6 hours, and it was even faster than that. So we are at 100%, all done, all set. I do still have the internet, the Bluetooth on, connected to it. And the nice part about this is you don't need to go through anything to connect to this. You literally are connecting Bluetooth to Bluetooth without having to mess around. Actually, Wi-Fi to Wi-Fi, without having to mess around with connecting to a router and then connecting to this and then sending back information. It's a pretty darn decent system they have there. So I'm going to give you a little bit of the final information on it. Your cell capacity is going to be 2,048 watt hours. AC input voltage, 120 volts or 12 amps. So big unit, nice unit, very, very robust. Very, very pleased with it. Remember, folks, check the link down below and register to get your $500 off when this goes live December 5th, okay? This is going to be the longest lasting power station you've probably ever used with premium LiFePO 4 batteries, 6 times longer lifespan, drop-proof unibody structure, and really high-quality electronic components with the GaNPrime smart temperature control for expanded durability. This thing charges fast, and I really, really like it. And it's definitely going to be a handy addition to my emergency power preps here at the home. So definitely pleased with it. Anyway, folks, the link will be down below. Don't forget, enter your email, $500 off when it goes live December 5th. We have all our other links down there as well. Our Thrive Life link, our freeze-dried wholesaler link. If you're interested in getting some freeze-dried wholesaler food and saving 15%, just use my link. Click the link, do as you normally would. Off you go. You save 15% at checkout. We also have our My Patriot Supply link. That's preparewithiridium.com. Lots of good deals this month there if you want to get stocked up on some food as well as other preparedness type products. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.